Hello, everybody. I hope that you are all doing well, and I'm very happy that you find your way to already 11th episode of my tiny experiment of Agility on the Road podcast. My name is Vendula Hausnerova, and I'll be your host. This time, I'll take you with me to Colombia, as I was talking to my dear friend, to Sergio, aka Chexo, from Medellin. He was sharing his life story as well as his agility journey and much more. Checho is this kind of person that when he decides for something, he finds a way because there is always a way. I really enjoy our conversation and I believe that you will enjoy it as well. And just a quick heads up, this episode is brought to you by Natural Pet Care System, the Hungarian company who is bringing natural supplements for our doggies to the market. My senior 14 years old Elliot and junior 8 months old Sisu are taking at the moment Burgiman, what is helping to boost their immune system, and another product, Flexi, what is supporting their bones, cartilage, and joints. Especially on the senior Elliot, I can say how Bergman boosts his life energy. And he's in that age when he would rather sleep all day, but I can say that as he is taking Bergman, he's kind of happier. And when he's happier, I am happier as well. I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. Guys, if you are into natural supplements, be sure to check their page, and with the code VENDULA10 you can get 10% discount. And with that being said, let's dive to the episode itself. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jejo.
Hello, Vendula. I'm super happy to see you again.
So, welcome to Colombia, right?
Yes, Colombia. We are near Medellin in a small town called Guarne.
Wow, Medellin. What's the weather in Medellin?
Weather in Medellin is usually perfect. It's not too hot, not too cold, not a lot of rain. It's very nice for the tourists. It's very nice for everyone. It's very nice for agility when it's not the rainy season.
And that's the very important. That is very nice for agility. Tell me, you are so close to equator. It means that you have a rainy season and a dry season there, correct?
We have some more mad rainy season and dry season, but not that extreme in temperature changes.
Okay, and when it's a rainy season, does it mean that it's raining whole day, few days in a row, few weeks, or just part of the day?
It usually means that almost every day you can have some hours of rain or heavy rain, but not the whole day. Usually it's very strong rains during several months or days in a row.
Okay, so you can train more or less whole year long, right?
More or less, yes. Some season you have to train in a little muddy style, but you just figure it out. Just figure it
Well,
out.
that's a part of the deal sometimes.
Yes.
Uh, I think that it's 3 years when I was for last time in Colombia, and when we saw each other. So that's time I would like to use this opportunity and talk with you about your agility story, about agility in Colombia. And I'm sure that there will be some other questions out of order what will come to my mind. So let's start like this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's always so nice to see you, or in general, like to see you guys from Colombia. You just look good and you are just shining. So I mean, guys and girls, all of you. I don't know. It's because you are so close to equator, or it's just South America, or what's the face of the typical Colombian? You are walking on a street in Medellin, and some stranger is going against you. Are you smiling to each other, or are you more like Germans? Like
I
no
try
smiling.
I try to go smiling to everyone. I try to be super friendly with everyone, but the reality is that you cannot go so relaxed in every space. There are some let's say safer zones than others, but nothing very extreme. People in other countries used to think that our cities are like jungles or like super extreme war zones, and it's nothing like that. We just go
Wait,
and
you
walk
are not putting
everywhere.
a coca into your coffee and a tea in the morning?
That's what every people thinks. The reality is that the 99% of Colombians don't even we don't even know those things. I haven't ever seen that in my life, and I have a special story about that in ABC. That happened to me in ABC in Chakra, and I had
Tell
to
me,
tell
tell
you
me, tell
about
me.
it. And I have to tell you about it because it happened that I took with me some coffee candies, just coffee candies, very, very traditional candies that are in Colombia. They are called Coffee Delight. And we
Uh-huh.
we love those candies. Everybody loves them. It's just a simple candy with coffee sugar, coffee flavor. And when it was the closure ceremony in Czech Republic, I took this bag with candies with me and start to giving everyone. And when I was telling to the countries that didn't know us, they were like, "Come on, are these magic candies?" They asked me, and I was like, I try to keep my to hold myself because it has two faces. It's kind of funny, but I was kind of pissed off a little bit because the first thing is how could I start giving bad things to the people? But I remember very especially to Thomas Trach because Thomas was in Colombia very recently. And when I found him, he was super happy and take the candies and give some other people of the Hungary team. And they were like, "Are you sure?" And he was super nice. And I went to
Are you
other
sure? Should I
countries and the
fly with
Spanish
that?
people. Yes, yes. I think they were not, I don't know. I understand them, but they were look super worried about it.
Well, honestly, I have to say that because of the publicity of Pablo, it's unfortunately it's Colombia so connected to cocaine. But as I was in your amazing country twice already, I have to say that cocaine didn't even come to my mind. Like there is so much things to see, to explore, and so many interesting people that
Yes.
I think that if you stay in your bubble and if you watch the movies and so on, then the bubble can be only one connection for you with the Colombia.
Okay.
But as soon as you kind of like open your windows, get out of your bubble and try to get some international connections, for example, Colombian, and for example, in agility competitions, then you will see that
Yes,
the
because
world is much more colorful, not
it
just
looks
white.
like there's a underground world, and most of the people in Colombia don't have access to that world. It happens in the far zones, in the jungles, further zones when they cultivate the plants and where are the labs and all those things. But in the cities, in the 99% of the country, we are just doing our stuff like everyone else in the world.
And maybe one day Colombia will be as famous for agility like for cocaine.
Yes, we are trying. We are trying to change that, and I think we are getting better. We have the soccer players. We have cyclists in different sports. We have great sport people, and we have a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of good things, artists, a lot of stuff. And we want the agility start coming to the mind of the people when they think in Colombia.
Yes, I am. I'm your big fan and I will push this idea as much as I can. So, Checho, let's come back to the beginning. Please tell me, my dear, how did you find your way to agility? How was Checho's journey?
Well, this is I have to say that I love my story
That's amazing. Congratulations.
because I think it's like reconnection with my real inner child. When I was a
Mhm.
child, there was a small dog in my family, a cocker spaniel, but the regular cocker spaniel. And this dog, I love this dog. And the dog bite everyone in the family. Everyone got
Okay.
bitten by this dog. They showered the dog. I took him for walks. I tried to train him. Everything. I loved to live with him, and I started thinking that I was going to be a veterinarian or something like that. And I have
Uh-huh.
some relatives with country houses with cows and all those things. And I loved animals. But also, when I was starting growing up, I come from a very modest family, and
Mhm.
the main entertainment for us were sports. So
Mhm.
I have done every normal sport in Colombia. I started playing football, like soccer for everyone, basketball, volleyball, beach volleyball, ultimate. I did karate, I did taekwondo, I swam, everything I could. If you can play
Wow.
it, I played that thing. I played
Did you
everything.
did you play chess?
Of course, I
Ah,
played
okay. So then you play
uh,
everything.
chess, table tennis, everything. Everything that I could, that could afford, I played
Mhm.
that. So,
Mhm.
but my brother started studying electronic engineering, and
Mhm.
and I also wanted to be like my brother. So I started studying electronic engineering, but I didn't finish because I got a new passion and about graphic design. And I left my studies around the seventh semester. Started graphic design.
Uh-huh.
Everything else, but I love also the. I am a scout. I have been a scout for my whole life since I was 13. So I loved living in the country, camping, hiking, swimming in the forest, everything. And all these things get connected at some point. You can promise. And I started with graphic design and
Mhm.
got hired by a company because I knew how to develop some software. And I started studying graphic design and working as a software developer and started
Uh-huh.
with that. And at some point, I created a company with some friends and everything. I started working, and I say that now I can have a dog. But in my house, they didn't allow me to have a dog. But now I was grown enough, so got part in that decision. So at the end, we got a dog. I adopted a dog. It still lives with me. His name is Congo. You know him. And
Greetings.
with Congo, went random day. I went to a shopping center, to a mall, and there were a pets festival, and I met two persons that, in that moment, they changed my life without knowing it. One was a guy who was training in some kind of IGP style with the dog. So, and that was my first connection with dog training. I saw this
Mhm.
guy with a Malinois and a girl with like 10 years healing with the dog and doing obedience and bite work. And it was perfect. And I told him, how can I learn this? Do you teach this? And he told me, and I asked him, how much do you charge for this? And that was far away from my budget. And I love
One
this. I have
lesson maybe.
but someday I will learn this. And I kept walking and through the shopping center, and I found in a corner some guys doing agility, and they were
It was
like
in a shopping center
in a shopping
inside?
center. There was a artificial turf, and there was a dog walk. It wasn't very big, but enough for the dogs to run because
Okay. And
it's
what
kind of a
time?
open. It's like a open court, and
I see. I see. Okay.
inside. And they were doing agility. I cannot forget that moment, and I won't forget that moment during my whole life because that day I know that my life changed forever because it was like everything together. It was with dogs. It was a sport. It was a thing to do outside in the outer world. I say, come on, you need to run in the grass. They has to be big. The dog was jumping in the slalom. I cannot say what I felt when I saw a dog doing a slalom. Still today, I love the dogs doing a slalom. And that I
When it
started
was?
It was around 14 years ago.
Okay.
So,
Because
and
that's I just like I have to share because it's funny, but I had the same beginning. I think that I was 10, so it was 28 years ago, almost like yesterday.
around.
And there was an exhibition of agility in my hometown. And I just remember that I was looking and I didn't get it. I thought that it's kind of magic between the owner and the dog.
Yes.
I couldn't get it. Like, I thought that it's for somebody else to do that, that I would never be able to do. It was like, I was absolutely speechless. And exactly as you said, I don't know if I will ever forget this moment because it was something so special that you just feel it that, like, okay, this will be big. Like, you don't feel it like that, but you
Yes.
feel that it will make a
Yes.
big mark
It
in
was
your heart.
it was like magic. I was thinking, how can they make the dog do these things in such
Without the
an
leash,
order, without a
right?
leash, without
Yeah,
a leash? It looks like the dog already knew everything.
yeah.
It was magic. It was magic. It was fantastic, and the dog looked so happy and super fast and super athletic. No, I remember that day today, and everything comes to my mind. Every aspect of the picture. I can see the dog walk. I can see the dog they were running with. I can see the people. I remember the people I went with to that place. It was a very special day. I think that I couldn't sleep that day. I think I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to know what's the magic behind this way of communicating with the dog, of making the dog look so happy running and so obedient and connected. It was fantastic. It was a moment, unforgettable moment for me.
I
It
feel you.
was,
I feel you completely.
and then I started going to take classes. And it happened. I still have some videos of my first classes. It was super crazy. It was super crazy. When I see them, I say, how we survive those
Ah,
classes?
come on, come on.
How did we
Does
survive?
it feel like does it feel like that now, but before? Like, I can imagine that
Before
you
it
were
was
like
it was
the
the
king in
best. It
your
was the best.
the king in your own world.
It was the best. It was the best. But the tunnel, come on, no bags on the tunnel, just
No one?
on the floor, without
Ah,
bags, without sandbags. It's just
yeah.
the tunnel, and it rolled. It was super crazy. Well, but I started doing that, and I got crazy again, and I left my other things, my work, everything. I decided that I had to learn how to do that, and I wanted to do it good, and I wanted to be good at that. And I say, if I want to be good, I had to be radical. I had to take one strong decision, and I started studying veterinary medicine. And
Here
I
we
left
go.
my work. I left my work, and I started studying like everyone else in YouTube, trying to start conditioning and the clicker and positions and loading and shaping and everything else. I started learning about that, and I started training in another club in the city, which was closer to me. And I went to the classes with my dog over my motorcycle. I had a motorcycle that was here. I was in the motorcycle, and my dog was here. And it was super. I had to say,
Does he
it was not the safest thing in the world, but the dog
does
went
he
there.
have the helmet?
No, there was no helmet. Come on, remember, there wasn't even Instagram in that moment. There was a war before Instagram. I went to the classes with my dog, and I started learning about that. In fact, I couldn't afford the seminars, but I remember that when we have the shoot, the collapse tunnel, the old tunnel. I don't remember the name. I think it was the shoot, the collapsed tunnel.
Yeah, okay.
The shoot, it was called, right?
I don't know what is a shoot,
Well,
but I know what is a collapse tunnel. Yeah.
the collapse tunnel. Okay. And in my first agility seminar, I could go and watch the trainings and learn about that, because I got the job as the manager of the collapse tunnel. My job was to take the fabric and string take it
Very
straight again
important. Very
after
important.
yes, after every dog, I took the fabric and take it and leave it straight again. And that was
There is
my job.
always a way, Checho. There is always a way,
There is
and you
always a
find
way.
your way through the
There
collapse
is always
channel.
a way. Yes. And I say to the organizer, I can help you, whatever you want. And I designed the certificates of the diplomas of the course, of the seminar. I offered to that. And that's one moment I have to say, that was a magical moment when the points started coming together. And
Mhm.
I designed the certificate and I straight the tunnel and the tunnel straightened. Well, and I watched the seminar. In fact, in that seminar, which was with one of the best Colombian trainers, I think
Mhm.
right now is not in agility, but was one of the greatest agility trainer and is a great dog trainer that now works on TV. And I learned one simple exercise that I think that I that keep turning moving in my head, and I never forgot that exercise. And I do
Please
that
share it with us.
exercise. I called it NASCAR. And everyone,
NASCAR.
yes. Now it has a name. I named it. I named it after that, and I created new versions of that exercise. And I think it's one of the key exercises I do with my new students for teaching focus forward,
Mhm.
commitment, body language, control of the dog, communication, a lot of things, speed, and
Tell me.
I will tell you everything about that if you want. And it's a very simple exercise, but when you're starting in agility, it helps you to understand how your body language affects the motion of the dog. And it was
Very
beautiful.
important point.
And I do it all the time with my students because it's a simple exercise but teaches a lot to the people that's not has no experience with dog training or agility. And it's very I tell didactic like for teaching agility. Well, now I started going to the competitions to watch the competitions.
But wait. You will not tell me the thingy? You just make some commercial about it and then you have some online course that the people can sign up or
No, 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 I have a platform, but this is not about that. Okay, but let's
okay,
continue.
okay.
Let's continue.
So
And
if you want to know that magic, contact Checho
oh, of
directly.
course, if you want to know that magic and a lot of more, you can contact me. Look
And I
for
will
this.
call you later and you will tell me as well, okay?
Yes, of course,
Deal.
everything. And and I started. I knew where the competitions were held, and it was in the engineering school in Medellin, and it was in the outside of the city. And I
Uh-huh.
started going to only to watch the competitions without a dog. I haven't. My dog didn't know agility. I didn't know agility, but I went every 2 weeks to that place where while there were competitions just to watch agility. And I started from every side of the field to watch the movement of the dog,
Mhm.
the signals of the handlers, what the judge do. I remember there was a trend in that moment about the clicker training. It was like everybody had a clicker in their pocket and trained with the dogs outside. And I remember the particular squeaky tennis balls that everyone had. It was very particular because they were super bad quality. The dog just bite once and the squeaker was damaged. But everybody had one of those. And I started going to those competitions and started meeting the people. They were organizing one seminar with one of the most important competitors in Colombia in that moment. And there was a person that I have to thank my whole life in agility, and she's called Ana Maria Zuluaga. Ana is one of the best competitors ever in Colombia, and she invited me to that seminar, and I went
Mhm.
as a auditor. I didn't know that you could do that, but I asked him, if I don't have a dog, can I just come? I just want to come and see what
Just
what
make me.
what this is. How
Just,
do you
I,
train?
I just get lost a little bit. But there was a time when you were training already with your dog, or there was still just a theoretical part of agility
I
beginnings.
I was attending to lessons sometimes, but I got I could afford some lessons, and the other lessons I just traded for something else. I attended to that seminar just as an auditor. I asked her
Mhm.
if there was the possibility. I just wanted to know how they train the advanced dogs because I was going to classes with my dogs, and it happened that that seminar had a special day just about slalom.
Your
And
favorite
they were
obstacle.
the magic obstacle. It's still for me the key element of agility is the slalom. Just because one simple reason is the only obstacle that an untrained dog cannot do. The only way a dog can do a slalom is training, because you can just take a dog with a leash and do the contact zones, and maybe they will do it, and maybe they will do it
Yeah,
in
that's
a
true. That's true,
good
Felix.
way and could complete a course and jump. And you can do and not in the right way, but you can complete a course. But if a
Yeah,
dog doesn't know the slalom, they cannot complete the course. And the only way
that's true.
to do the slalom is training. And that was magic. I was thinking, pardon me because of this, but how the hell they train the dogs to do that? Why then don't the dogs leave that thing and just run away? Why? Why do they do that? And that was like magic for me. And they were telling how to train, how to fix the entrances and everything. And I think I have to be good at this. And now I say that my best obstacle is the slalom. Even I have to
Of
say
course.
that
With so much passion for obstacle.
I love it. But the sad part is that in Czech Republic, I say that in my mind that I could have won the world championship if it wasn't because of the slalom. Because I got a stupid refusal in the slalom. But it
Oh,
was,
yeah,
of course, because it happened that I was 10th. I was 10th in the jumping. In the individual jumping, I was 10th. And in that world championship, Veronica was 16th in the jumping. She was 16th in the jumping, and she won the world championship because no one else cleaned between the first 15th. No one else cleaned the agility, and I
but
was
you
one
know,
of those.
Checho, how it is in agility. You
It
never
was
know.
you never know, you never know. And I was when I was running, I didn't I wasn't expecting to win. I just wanted to do it. And when I got to the slalom, I had to say, this is done. Easy for me. I had plenty of time. And I did it wrong. I think that I got panicked. And that was I think that makes it even most memorable for me because I have this special story to tell to my students and friends. And I love the slalom more after that. I love it more after that. And then, well, this kept continuing. And Ana Maria one once asked me if I wanted to adopt a border collie. I wanted
Uh-huh.
a border collie, but I couldn't afford a dog because there was a few dogs, a few border collie with pedigree and everything and that, and it was super hard to get one, and I couldn't because it wasn't working already. Now I was a student living with my parents, and she asked me if I
Money,
wanted
money,
to
money. Yep.
money, and she asked me if I wanted to adopt a border collie from a training, and I say, of course, just say yes. Where do I have to go? What do I have to do? I do everything. I'll do everything, and that's one of the reasons because I love Ana Maria more because when she connected me with that dog, my life changed again. And I started a new journey. And I started training with a dog, and I did agility with that dog. I got him until grade 2, and I was playing this dog also with him. I
Uh-huh.
qualified for several world championships with this dog, but I never traveled to United States to compete because they didn't give me the fucking visa. So I left these dog competitions like frisbee. I stopped competing with frisbee with that dog and only focused on agility and everything else. But the dog got sick and well, that's story.
I'm sorry.
I now I move to another place where to start a project about agility, only about agility, to live training and taking care of dogs, everything,
Okay, so till then
100%.
you had some other job, some other money income, and then was the point when you
My money
decided that
income, my money income in that moment was delivering and selling dog and pet stuff that I was selling through a website I created with my software developer skills. And
amazing.
and I was in the mornings I studied veterinary medicine, and in the afternoons I took my motorcycle and dog food, dog accessories, dog toys, and started delivering through the whole city.
So you had some storage at home?
Kind of storage because I picked up the food with the seller and took
Uh-huh.
to the customer. And I was
Okay.
like that.
Wow, such an idea.
I couldn't afford having stock. So I buy
Mhm.
and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. And that was everything. And in the night, going to some agility classes or something like that. Or this dog. And I started training this dog, everything, frisbee. And that at some point we started with dog school, and we took care of dogs, train them, and have the daycare and take them back to their homes. And I started living in a shipping container, but it's not the shipping container that
That's how
most
I met
people.
you.
That's where you met me. That's where you met me.
There was the coolest shipping container as I ever saw, and I'm totally sure that I was dreaming for a second that I would live like that as well with my gypsy roots.
Yes. And it was crazy because when I started living in that shipping container, at the first moment, the shipping container was only the storage of the agility obstacles.
And
It
you.
had nothing. It had nothing inside. It was just a shipping container as it comes. We in this new place now we didn't have to storage the agility obstacles. So they were in the field constantly because it was ours, rented, but ours. And now I could live inside the shipping container. But the shipping container was just a box. It was just a box. I just got a bed and started living there with my dog. It was my dog and me in a shipping container. And I started, but it happened that
Such a freedom, Checho, such a freedom.
such a freedom, such a freedom. It was very special, and I was happy to have the possibility of taking that risk, that decision for my life.
Yeah.
And it happened that in my secondary, I learned about welding and in the how do you say carpentry, and I started building my own stuff and building the windows and the door and the kitchen and the tables and everything to be able to live in this place because I had no water, I had no electricity, I had no lights. When it rains, I remember when it rained, the water came into the shipping container. It came.
Inside.
I just couldn't do anything, and they take the water out. It was crazy. It was crazy, and there were heavy rainy seasons. Heavy rainy seasons. I hadn't do anything else to do but going over the bed and wait until the stop, and then start taking the water out. It was like, just like that. With
Such
the
a story.
time, I started hiring some people to help and build a small deck around the container. And
Mhm.
then we change the floor and everything. And I lived there around 5, 6, 7 years. Now I cannot remember how much, but I still have most of the people that knows me about agility knows my dog Nuki, which is one I won Americas in Caribe and went to the World Championships. I still have videos on Nuki. When Nuki came to my life, it didn't have electricity inside the container. The videos looks like a cave just from the cell phone here. And I was recording the exercises on the bed and it was super dark and you just can see a small football turning around in the and I still look at them, and I think it's the most beautiful moment of my life because it was pure heart and soul and all my life in that small animal. It was everything for me.
So, in that time, was you and the three doggies inside?
It was just me, Congo, and Nuki.
And Nuki. And Nuki was the puppy because I lost you for some moment and I
Yes,
feel that this is the very important moment what I don't want to miss.
yes, it was. I haven't told you how Nuki came to my life, but it happened that when I lost Mambo, which was the name of my first border collie, now I didn't have a dog for doing agility. And I was helping some people that were doing agility in basic stuff, but the reality is that I wasn't good enough. I was just learning, just that I have some years more learning than them, and I try to help them. And I think I help them. I have a lot of people in the beginning steps, but I didn't have a dog to learn and to experiment by myself
Yes.
the whole experience of agility. Someday, someone tells me that there is a litter of border collies in Bogota, which came from a special bloodline, like with the magic of the elves, blood, the orange blood, and they were special. And I didn't know anything about bloodlines, about the pedigrees. I didn't know anything about that. But I asked, would you take a dog from this litter? And they say to me, yes, I will take one. And I say, okay, and then I'll take it. I trust you, I will take it. And I called this guy and he asked me money and I didn't have a cent. And I told him, give me 1 hour. And I started calling everyone to lend me money to
Yeah.
pay for the something to assure the option of having a dog. And I got some money and I send him the money and I say, now I will have a border collie. I remember that I was competing in a national university sport games because I was playing beach volleyball for the university.
Of
And
course.
in the road back, I stopped and I told to the trainer, I am living here. You go to Medellin. I'm here because I'm picking up a new puppy. And as I was elder than the other students, the trainer told me like, it's okay, you can do whatever you want. And I went down. I was never been in that town, but some friends, some frisbee friends that were living now in Bogota, they took me to pick up the puppy. No, from a town near to Bogota, they took me to a place called Tabio, I think, to get the puppy. Oh my God, what this is. Another moment of my life when I see these dogs, these puppies. I have never seen a border collie pup in my life. I've never seen a border collie, such a small dog, and I didn't know what to do. And I literally picked the most beautiful one. I think this is the most beautiful one. I want this. That was everything. I knew nothing about
Man,
choosing a dog.
typical man.
Typically, typically, I thought since this is the most beautiful dog, I took her with me, and then I it happened that, and this is a good story because I was traveling to Medellin and I had two missions. One was taking the dog with me, and the second was taking my teacher with me because I learned and I was clear that I didn't want it to do it by myself. I needed a teacher, I needed a mentor, I needed a master, someone who was good enough so I can do everything that they told me and be good enough as him. And I told him, I'm picking the pup and I meet you there at the transportation terminal. I meet you there and we will go together to Medellin because I want that the first day with my dog, you tell me what to do. You start teaching me since the first day because I want to do special things with this dog. And that we went there to the bus terminal And it happened that the driver told me I couldn't take the dog with me inside the bus. It had to go down there.
It's the same like
And
in Spain,
that
actually.
was driving me crazy. But it happened, and I had to accept and put the dog in the crate and went to the lower part of the bus. But around 1 hour after, there was stops to something. Somebody needed to go to the restroom, something like that. And I told them, let me take the dog to pee because it's very small and I don't want to do it inside. Okay. And I did it. And after that, I took like a jersey and rolled it and
And you wrote the
simulated
dog
that
in.
I simulated put the dog back in the crate. But the reality is that the dog was inside my t-shirt. I took her inside and we traveled with the dog inside like 9 hours more with her inside. And she's just living there until Medellin. And now I got my border collie and I start training with this guy. He was very special because he knew a lot of things that I didn't knew. And I love that. And I have to say that that's my favorite thing in life. And it's been the dumbest in the room. In that case, I was the dumbest in everything. I knew nothing about agility, of high level agility. I knew nothing about high level training. And I was thrilled by that because I knew that everything is going to be new for me. I knew that I just can't get any worse. I just can improve.
But you know what is very interesting, actually, Checho, that I did my meditation today. And the topic of the meditation was the beginner's mind, that it can teach you a lot when you approach the thing, the situation, the moment with the beginner's mind and not this kind of like, I was everywhere, I know everything, and I have a key from every door, right? And this reminds me of you, how you are describing that situation with Nuki. But, Checho, the thing is that we already recorded a lot, and I
Okay.
still have. Actually, I ask you one question. I prepared here like 100 of questions, and we did one. So, what do you think about let's finish now and let's reconnect next week?
I'll do whatever you want. If you tell me, talk about your story, talk about agility, I can talk about agility for months.
I can see. So let's see if we will finish your story in the second episode. But I think that this portion of enthusiasm should be shared at least in the 2 episodes. Okay, my dear. So let's stop it now.
Okay.
And for now, I wish you to have an amazing week. And let's talk to you next week.
Perfect.
Perfect. Cha cha cha. So, and that's it for today's episode. I believe that you enjoyed. And just to let you know that I am sending monthly newsletter about agility on the road, viewed by my eyes and lived by my experience. I am trying to share there deeper insights from our journey about travel tips and about living the agility life fullest. You can subscribe on my webpage, agilityontheroad.com, and no hard feelings, you can unsubscribe anytime. I wish you to have a beautiful day, week, month, and that whatever would come to your way will teach you something or bring you a joy. Take care.